TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
Good evening and welcome to Living in Your Purpose. I am Dr. Pat. I am so excited today. My guest is none other than Miss Juva Threat Alexander. She is the author of the book, From the Pole to the Pulpit. I am so excited, so I'm just going to jump on in because there's a lot to cover. So welcome. Thank you guys for viewing, and I pray that you're having a blessed day. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful.
That's good. So tell us, who is Miss Juva Threat Alexander?
I am, well, I can give some titles.
Okay.
All right. I am an author.
Okay.
I'm an inspirational speaker.
Okay.
I am a playwright.
Okay.
And I'm an editor. And I'm a woman of God and a woman who is on a mission to seek, discover, and pursue her purpose.
Oh, see, I'm loving that. I am loving that, yes. Okay, okay. So where are you from?
Originally, well, I was born in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
However, I am a military brat, so you kind of moved around a little bit. But I feel that Georgia is home because this is the place that I lived the longest.
Okay.
And I am currently in North Carolina.
Okay.
So, but either way it goes, I'm still just a Georgia peach.
Okay. From the Pole to the Pulpit.
Let me get my copy.
This book I don't know. I've had some incredible authors, ladies that have really blown my mind. And this one is another one. I love having the books before I get the author here because it's so much to go into, but we're going to dig right on into this. Okay. The intro. We're going to talk about the intro. Everybody, when they think about the pole, when they think about being an exotic dancer, stripper, all the negative connotations, they really do. They think about Players Club. They think about Lisa Ray, someone that's just doing for a time to get where she needs to be. But your book actually shows it's not like that. Some people actually get in this industry and can't make it out.
That is very true, Dr. Pat. And like the Players Cup, granted, you do have some women that they are just on a mission. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to make my money, and that's that. However, that's usually what they tell their family and friends. And it's true for some, but for many, it may start out that way, but it doesn't always end up that way. And I think one of the reasons why most women and men that are in sex-based type of industry, such as being an exotic dancer or a stripper, if you will, I think they get used to the money because it's quick, it's easy, there's a lot of it. I guess, you know, if you're doing it right, there's a lot of money to be made, and it's easy. Initially, it feels glamorized, you know. Sometimes you feel like an actress out there. And so, but it's addicting. The money is addicting. Even the being seductive can be addicting. And so a lot of them find themselves stuck for a lot of reasons.
Okay.
Especially when, you know, I mean, you can go work at Wendy's or something if you want.
But
and
you're not going to make that type of money.
No.
So, yeah, I get it. Before we talk about Miss Kitty.
Shout out to the 69 boys.
Okay, Miss Kitty. I want to talk about the gentleman that loved you.
Oh, okay.
Before you were Miss Kitty, he loved you. I know you was going through a depression at that time.
Correct.
And you was around we're going to talk about your raw dog, the original dog. We're going to talk about all of that. I mean, your book, I was just like, wow. So, tell us about your friend.
Okay. So that was Frank.
Yes.
Yeah. Frank was extra special, and he did love me, but he loved me during a time that I didn't love myself.
Right.
And sometimes when you don't know how to love yourself, it makes it difficult for you to love someone else. And but he was a very, very special person, and he was definitely someone that I did not want to know what I was, I was doing.
Where is Frank?
Frank is still around. He's doing absolutely great. He's in Georgia. But he's doing fabulous. He's a great guy. He's a great man.
Okay, Mr. Frank. Okay. So, Kitty.
Yes.
When you
Did I just say yes?
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miss Kitty, how did you come up with the name?
Okay.
Transition from Juva to Kitty?
Interesting story. My original roller dog asked me if I would, and I don't know why she asked me, if I would be interested in stripping for her homeboy's bachelor's party. Now, we could probably talk about the road dog maybe a little bit along the way, but to answer the question, I felt like it was a great idea. Yeah. So I decided that I would do it. I had never been to a strip club. I had seen, I've gone to, no, I take that back. I've gone to like male reviews. However, male strippers are totally different than female strippers, but I didn't do any type of research. I just figured I could do it, I figured I could do it. And so at the time I had one of my friends, I had to make sure that I picked someone that first of all could dance. So, but the friend that I picked, he was like he was a b-boy, back in the day, you're doing your pop locking and breaking. Probably wasn't the best person to ask to help me choreograph this routine. And he was also going to serve as my bodyguard. He was maybe about 100 pounds, soaking wet, little bitty white guy. But he was going to show me my routine. We worked up a routine, and I was dancing to, I had a bunch of different songs, but the one song that just kind of stuck was the 69 Boys' Kitty Kitty. And so I put together this little routine. Okay, yeah. So, I'm going to be here, kitty, kitty, here, kitty, kitty, right? So the day of the bachelor's party, I go in and I'm looking at all these guys like, oh my gosh. But I went to the little makeshift dressing room. It was somebody's bedroom. I went and put on my little get up, my so-called stripper clothes, and my theme song, or the song to start the routine, came on, and it was Kitty Kitty. And that just stuck with me. First of all, I love music. I absolutely love bass and the whole Florida vibe, just Southern, hip hop, rap. I mean, that was just my thing back then, of course,
Yes, ma'am.
And so I like that song, Here Kitty Kitty. It was like one of the hottest songs during that summer.
Yes.
And I went out there and I was like, I don't know, Juva just went out the door and Kitty was up in there. And so I just stuck with Kitty.
And how did it turn out that night?
It turned out, I guess the goal was to make some money, but it actually exceeded all expectations because it planted a seed in there that, I could do this again. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. I work 40 hours a week and I make this. And in just a couple of hours, I made this. Oh my gosh. So of course it got my curiosity, it got to the best of me, and I decided to just, go out there and pursue being an exotic dancer.
My goodness, my goodness,
Yeah.
my goodness. So I guess we're going to talk about the deep, dark world of this adult entertainment industry.
Okay.
How deep did you get into it?
I was heavily involved in it. The thing is that once I moved to Atlanta, because I came from Augusta, Georgia, and I moved to Atlanta. And of course, Atlanta is the home of the strip clubs.
Yes.
There's plenty in Atlanta. And I got hired. I got hired in a club. And initially, it wasn't too bad because when I walked into this club, I saw all of these beautiful women, and they were out there, doing their thing. And not only were they just kind of doing their thing, but they were like making all this money. And it was in the middle of the day. And so, you don't have like a mentor. You don't have a stripper mentor. They don't teach you anything. So I observed, learned how to move, had my own little style to it eventually. And, sometimes it was actually, kind of fun. You kind of play with a guy. You're going to see what you can get up out of him. And then I made all of this money. So initially it was okay. It was okay. But then when you start making all of this money, you start wanting more. And eventually you develop a love for money. That was my case. And that's probably the case with many. Now, the mindset of everybody isn't the same. But at the time, you're talking about a young woman that, first of all, she didn't know who she was. I didn't know who I was. Very low self-esteem. And I think maybe some things that probably happened in my past, they have a way of impacting you.
Yes.
So I really didn't think a whole lot of myself. And so I would end up doing, oh my goodness, can you do this private party? We're going to fly you out because here in Atlanta, you have all types of ballers. Everybody's somebody. Everybody's doing something. There's not a problem for somebody to be able to fly you out somewhere. And so I realized that I made even more money just traveling around. But people are sick and twisted.
Yes, they are.
And you see sick and twisted things. And so that's what I experience with myself and with a lot of other people. A lot of other people. Things that I wouldn't have ever really known to the depth that I know it now. For instance, I remember I did this one private party, and it was over in a mansion. You had, I don't know, there were maybe about 4 or 5 girls. But in this one girl, she actually worked in, one of the clubs with me. But talking to her, she just sounded young. When you're talking to a child.
Yes.
I mean, I was a young adult myself, but she just seemed really, really young. And come to find out, I want to say that the baby was like 16, maybe 16 in the club, because I asked her, I said, how old are you? And she was up in there, she was drunk, high on probably everything. And she was and it just did something to me. And I was like, she's 16. Oh my gosh. I just couldn't imagine, I couldn't imagine. And then I thought about it, of course, now, hindsight, I realized that there are lots and lots of young people that are in there and in the clubs and in this lifestyle, and it's by force. It's by force. This is where you have a lot of sex trafficking.
Okay, we're going to start right there. We got to pay some bills. We'll be back.
Welcome to Burke's Jewelry. How may I help you?
We're looking for engagement rings.
We offer a wide selection. However, I believe we have just what you're looking for. Burke's Jeweler is your family's jeweler at 491 Flat Shoals Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia 30316 in East Atlanta Village.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom, Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom, Inc. Reducing violence, developing youth, saving.
Welcome back to Living in Your Purpose. I am Dr. Pat. I'm sitting here with my special guest, Miss Juva Threat Alexander, author of the book From the Pole to the Pulpit. So welcome back. I'm going to leave your book for one moment because someone wanted me to ask you a question.
Sure.
They saw one of your podcasts, and you were speaking about the porn star.
Yes.
And I guess it was a private party, and someone got jealous through a drink in her private area. Can you go a little further and elaborate on that?
Okay. Actually, it was at a strip club in Memphis, Tennessee. And when you had porn stars I wrote a chapter in my book. It's called Pimps, Hoes, and Porn Stars. Oh my.
Yes, you did.
I did. The
I didn't
porn
want to,
star.
didn't want to know. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
That part, yeah.
Okay, so the porn. I hope I'm able to say that on TV. Sorry. The porn stars, they were features inside of the strip clubs, and they generated a lot of money because, you know, men, they like their favorite porn stars.
Correct.
And so when that porn star came, it would generate a lot of attention. They, you know, when people are there, it's packed. So the girls are there ready to work. But the thing is that in a strip, with strippers, strippers are often very protective of their regulars. They're very jealous, and they will fight. Maybe not at all of them. Maybe not at all of them, but most of them, a lot of them. And so you had the young lady, the porn star. She was on stage. She was doing her set, and she wasn't like a regular stripper. So she's doing whatever her little porn routine, you know, outside of just having, you know, sex on stage. But, you know, so she's there doing her thing, and a stripper just casually walked by. She had the drink in her hand, and she went up there to the stage. And it wasn't odd for you to sometimes, you know, go to the stage because you might just go ahead and throw $1 or something up there, you know, to kind of get people to start tipping. But anyway, she just took her drink and threw it right in between her legs. And the young lady, she got off the stage, of course. And I was explaining on the podcast that you know it had to burn.
Yes.
You know it had to burn. And yeah. But the thing is, she went in the dressing room, and I went into the dressing room. Other girls are in there, some snickering, some not paying her any attention. But I saw her eyes. And in her eyes, I saw the pain, not the physical pain, but she became real human to me. Because it's funny how you can be an exotic dancer, but then you want to look down on anybody else that's in a sex-based industry as well. And that's what happens with the porn stars. You know, the girls were jealous of her, and then they kind of look down on her because, you know, she's making her money this way. But the young lady, she you know, she's kind of wiping her tears. She's wiping herself. Now, me personally, I would have got myself and got on up out of there, especially with these Memphis girls. You know, they're a little rough.
Wow.
But she was wiping herself off and getting her money and stuff, gathering her stuff together, and she was going back out. And it did something to me because I'm like, she's not leaving. She has to be here. She has to be here. And of course, you know, now just looking back, I'm like, you know, what was her story? What was going on with her? You know, that she had to be there and to take that type of abuse. But it was that. I'll never forget the look in her eyes. I'll never forget that.
My God. Ooh, my God. In your book, I thoroughly enjoyed No More Shame.
Yeah.
Page 127. No More Shame.
No more shame. The
That-
poll? Yeah,
yes.
I'm sorry.
Was that your turning point? Was that the point where you realized, okay, I've made my money. This is not me. I have a purpose, and now it's time to walk in it?
To a degree, because you're going to realize when I wrote this book, I'm an adult now. I have a family, and you know, I'm writing. I'm being obedient and writing. And I realized that for years, I had been ashamed. I had been ashamed of what it is that I did. I was ashamed of the example that I was giving. I was just ashamed. I was ashamed that I made the choices that I made. I was ashamed for a very long time, well after leaving the club. I was ashamed. I was going to go to my grave with this secret Unless you knew me, you weren't going to know. You weren't going to know. I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. And then when God had the nerves to tell me to write this book and he gave me the title, I'm like, what? You know, I was ashamed. I was ashamed even as just kind of writing it. It was very difficult to write this. It wasn't easy breezy because I thought that I could go in. I mean, I have a very creative mind, very creative. I thought I was going to go in here and make this fictional novel and it's going to be hot and yeah, but I know the real deal. But no, I was told to write it just as I wrote it. And in the process of writing, I realized because as I wrote, God just ministered to me. No more shame. I had to forgive. First of all, I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive people that impacted me, people that did things to me. I had to forgive others, but the one person, and I forgave other people long ago, but up until really writing this work, I hadn't forgiven myself. When I wrote, I forgave myself. And you'll notice in the book, I offer different types of prayers.
Yes.
Because I want people to know what it is that I prayed and what it is that God gave me during this time as I wrote. Because I know that it isn't just for me. I didn't write this for me. I give away more than I generate an income from. I give away more because I realized when I wrote this book, I wrote it on, you know how you have the little marble composition notebooks? I had one of those. And on the front of it, I knew the title, but on the front of it, I wrote the word seed because I knew that I was going to plant these books into the people that needed them. Not just people stuck in sex-based industries, and there have been plenty. I've met I've met buku strippers, prostitutes, pimps, people out here, but I've met more people that are just stuck. I was stuck.
Wow.
My pole, of course, it was a literal pole, but I had lack-minded thinking. I was stuck in hopelessness. I was definitely stuck in depression. I was stuck in a lot of different things, and so are other people. People stuck in addictions. You think that man can go to that strip club every single day? When I tell you every single day. Tell him to be there. You'd be surprised. The regular John that came every single day, that might have been my regular there to see me every single day. Half the time I didn't even have to take off clothes. I had to sit there and talk to him.
Really?
Yeah, like a therapist. See what's going on with him. It's talking about his family or what have you. But they're just addicted and they're stuck. But you have lots of people that are stuck in all kinds of things.
Because maybe they feel as if they're a therapist. They're sex therapists. They're all type of therapists.
There are. I mean, some people, I don't know. I guess I was kind of stuck too. I made friends with a few people, you know. I made friends with a few people. I got an opportunity to learn some people.
Okay.
But I think, I know, we all just had some issues. We all had them.
You know, I like in your book where you showed this, it's no difference between someone that you call an exotic dancer, a stripper, whatever you want to call them, and a person that is getting their money being a side chick. However, they getting someone, manipulating someone to pay a bill, or by any means, there's no difference.
Yeah, the spirit of manipulation, it's real. And people manipulate in all sorts of ways. You definitely, if you are an exotic dancer or stripper, you're definitely manipulating. Wow. You know, I explained on the podcast that I recently did, and I often say that, you know, because I was asked a question, you know, when you saw, I was at a book club, and I was asked a question, what did you think when you just saw all those men? You know, what were you thinking? What was going through your head? I was like, I saw money. That's what I saw. I saw money. So you turn a blind eye to a lot of things sometimes.
So
And
I guess it's true. The love of money is the root of all evil.
It is very true. It is very true.
My God.
It doesn't start out that way, but a lot of times that's exactly how it ends up. There was a documentary when I was writing the book. I looked at it. The documentary was by, it was called The Strip Game.
Ice Cube.
Was
that
it not
one.
Cube? Method Man.
Yes, Method.
Method Man. He wrote it, or he filmed it. And there was one stripper that said, she says, you know, once I was in that club, making all that money, the strip club was the only place I wanted to be. And believe me, that's the case for a lot of people, and that's why a lot of them are just stuck.
My God. My God. So, do you believe in order for you to be living in your purpose at this moment that those things was necessary?
A lot of times, put it like this. I know that I had a praying mother that just always prayed for me. Mm-hmm. I know that I was always protected. But the things that I chose to do them. And God allowed me to make those choices. But the beautiful thing about purpose is that God has the ability to use your jacked up choices
Woo!
and
Yes.
the things that you've done. He will use those things to bring him glory, and he will pull your behind out. He pulled me out.
Yes, he will.
So that's what happened. So the choices that I made, those were mine. I did it. Those were my choices. But God used it, and he's using it now to serve the purpose that he has for me.
Oh, absolutely. I believe in my heart that God will take his strongest, the ones that he can use.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll put you in a situation, and it's not always a great situation. It's the limelight.
Right.
And he know he's going to bring you back into his fold.
Right.
But he just have to, like he did Job, did you consider my servant? Now, that's an awesome God.
Yes.
I mean, woo, to consider me, because, sir, be like, do you really have to consider me, Father? Please, sir, this is a lot. But we never know how he's going to do the things he does and the purpose that he does it.
Right.
Purpose is good. Purpose is bad. People have purpose for everything that they do in life.
That's true.
Some are selfish. Some are great, moral. It's just something. So how long have you been a woman of God?
22 years.
Yes. Okay.
22 years.
And what type of church is it? Non-denominational, Baptist? Well,
I learned about Jesus, and I heard the gospel for the first time with my heart. Mm-hmm. And it was a non-denominational church.
okay.
Yeah. My brother-in-law was actually the pastor. And so now you gotta realize that when I went to this church, I did not want to. I kind of went screaming and kicking. You know, I didn't want to necessarily go to church, but you know, this family's there, and you know, whoop, whoop, and all this other stuff. So I went, and I kept going, and I kept going, and then you keep going. Eventually, you're gonna get it.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's exactly what happened. But it was a non-denominational church.
Okay. So do you have your own church now? Are you ministering and visiting other churches? What are you doing?
Actually, I'm not an ordained minister.
Okay.
So to the pulpit, it is definitely a metaphor or metaphoric, because I look at it as we're all ministers of the gospel.
Yes, ma'am.
We're all ministers of the gospel. And so, do we have a break?
We're going to take a break real quick. Got to pay the bills. We'll be back.
So many Black lives incarcerated. So many Black lives silenced. When will we stop the madness?
Hi, I'm Michael Cowell, your funniest man on the planet, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Stay tuned, because that's how they do it over here. Big time party! All right, see y'all later. Bye. Hi, I'm Mike.
Welcome back to Living in Your Purpose. I am Dr. Pat, and once again we have author, inspirational speaker, motivator, woman of God, Miss Juva Threat Alexander. And before we go any further, tell me about Threat.
Actually,
that's a unique name.
Actually, it's spelled Threat, but it's pronounced Threat.
Really?
Yeah, it's Juva Threat Alexander.
Threat.
Threat, like three and eat. Threat.
And what's that about?
That is, of course, that's my dad's name. That's my maiden name.
Okay.
And I made sure that I kept my dad's name. My dad was very special to me.
Yes, ma'am.
And he's no longer here with us.
Oh.
He's no longer here with us. And so, you know, I'm his oldest daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And I have to just represent my daddy.
Yes, you do.
And I got to represent the Threats. There's plenty of us.
Okay. I actually met, I think his name is Gene Threat, in Brunswick, Georgia.
Probably a cousin.
Really?
Probably.
Because that name is different.
Right. And
I
it's
was
spelled
like,
different
is it
ways,
Threat?
too.
Is it Threat? What is it? But
Now, some of us pronounce it Threat.
really?
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
But
and different.
Threat.
It's Threat.
Eat. I like that. Okay. We got a lot going on right now in our country.
We do.
From not only the COVID-19, we have the protesting and just everything, the racism. And I was having a conversation with someone because we were talking, okay, they were saying that God must be asleep. Why is he letting all of this happen? And my conversation and my response was, God is not asleep. He's sitting and judging. Now, there's going to come a time when he is going to judge because he is setting up, you got democracy, you got Republican, but God is going to set up theocratic government, a government that is based on his laws, where everyone is the same. Good, no bad. And they were like, theocracy? What is theocracy? It's a government set up on God's laws. And a lot of people and pastors and stuff, they don't even speak about theocracy. But that is deep. What do you think about theocracy?
I totally agree. And I know that God, I know he's doing something.
Yes.
He's doing something. First of all, racism isn't new to us.
No.
we've been black our whole lives.
Okay.
You know?
Yes.
I think every black person has experienced racism on some sort of level. We know of somebody that has experienced, or I know personally, you kind of look out for the popo, the police.
Right.
You don't necessarily want to be pulled over.
Right.
Especially, you know, if you have a husband or you have sons, you know. And so this isn't new to us, you know, unfortunately. And it is a new period. The only thing is, and I cannot remember who probably said it first, it said the difference is that it's now just being recorded.
Right.
And so because it's being
Right.
recorded, now it has the attention. But God, He allows certain things to
Yes, He
happen
does.
because I do believe that He is setting some things up. He's setting some things up. So you got to expose some stuff.
Yes,
You
you
got to
do.
expose some stuff.
Yes, you do.
Because you can't heal what you don't acknowledge. We have to acknowledge. We have to acknowledge.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I believe that's what's happening. And I do believe that God is doing His thing.
Yes, He is.
And it's a start. It's a start. And it ain't going to be pretty.
It's not.
And it's not going to seem perfect.
No.
But God will get the glory in this.
Okay.
He will get the
al-
glory in this.
And you're gonna give it to Him some way. You either gonna be humble and bend those knees and give Him the glory, or He gonna scrape them up,
Yeah.
break them.
Yeah.
But He's gonna get the glory no matter what.
Absolutely.
And that is purpose.
That's purpose.
That's purpose.
Yeah, there's a purpose in this. I believe that
Ooh.
wholeheartedly.
Yes.
I believe there's a purpose in absolutely everything under the
yes.
sun.
Oh,
Even
yes.
the Bible tells us that, you know, there's a you know, a time for war. There's
Time
a
and
time,
season.
yeah, you know. So
I mean, and that's how I am now. When someone come to me, oh, this, that, I'll be like, okay, what's the purpose? What was their purpose? What was their purpose?
right, yeah,
Because purpose is everything. You know, it's just now you have to become conscious with your purpose,
absolutely, absolutely.
because you can still be walking in purpose and not living in purpose. My thing is, once you live in it, you are conscious. You're awake. Your thinking process is just completely different.
Right.
Words are no longer words. You know the etymology. You studying them. You breaking them down. You getting to the root of it. So
Absolutely, absolutely.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I want you to talk about Saturday. What's going on Saturday?
Speaking of purpose, okay, Saturday I am going to launch my official speaking platform.
Okay.
The speaking platform is the Purpose Conversation. Right. Now, with the Purpose Conversation, I give the Purpose Conversation or the Purpose Talk to companies, organizations, small groups, ministries, book clubs, anybody that is stuck. Because like I said, you know, we all kind of have a pole. And so what I want people to do is to think about where it is that they're stuck. Why are they not doing what it is that they're called to do?
My
You have some
God.
people that are working at a hotel, but they're actually, you know, an actor.
Right.
Or a lot of us are doing things and we're not living our best life. We are simply settling in so many different areas. And so I want to get people, because part of my purpose, what God told me, my purpose is to help you to connect to your purpose. I think that's why I go so hard for,
Yes.
I'm an editor and I love editing. I love to write, but I love to edit. And it's something about the indie author that's getting out here, especially the ones that are just telling their story.
Yes.
You know, it's like I want you to tap into what it is that you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
I want you to tap into what you're supposed to be doing. But anyway, the Purpose Conversation, I get you talking about your purpose.
Yes.
And so Saturday is going to launch my speaking platform, the Purpose Conversation, by having the purpose experience. It's one thing to talk purpose. It's a totally different thing to experience it.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So what I'm going to do is allow everyone to experience what purpose looks like. I am going to host the platform. It's going to be via Zoom.
Okay.
And the Purpose Experience, you would have to register for it. And you can register on Eventbrite. It's thepurposeexperience.eventbrite.com. But what I'm doing with the Purpose Experience, I am bringing along some Purpose friends with me.
Okay.
And my Purpose friends, the purpose for them being there is to show you what purpose looks like. Everybody has a story. Everybody's doing something,
Right.
but everybody is definitely living in their purpose right now. May I give you some names real quick?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I have Jessica Hill, and I believe that you met Jessica. I know
Yes,
you met
I did.
Jessica. Jessica is a community leader. She has a broad platform with a Facebook group that I absolutely love, and I am just so empowered. It's a female empowerment group, Sisters Building and Believing in Unity. Jessica Hill, she will be one of my Purpose friends, and she'll be speaking.
Okay.
I also have Tianta Miss Vegas Witherspoon. She is here based out of Atlanta. She's actually, she grew up in Las Vegas, so Miss Vegas. She wears a whole bunch of hats. She does a whole lot of things. But if you need somebody that's going to host an event, she does it all. She also sings. She's a writer. She's absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to have her to come and speak because Vegas reminds me a lot of myself because she has a story, but she'll probably share her story. So you're going to have to register for the event to hear what Ms. Vegas has to say. And also I have the dynamic duo. That's what I call them. So it's Jacinthia J.C. Bailey and Kathy Mangum. And they are co-hosts of a podcast called Married and Having Fun.
Okay.
And it's a really cool podcast. One of the things that I've been doing during quarantine time is checking out different podcasts. And JC is actually one of my nieces. So she, her and her friend, they created this podcast and it's absolutely amazing. They have all sorts of topics, things to make you think. But they are going to come and have a purpose a conversation and show people what purpose kind of looks like.
Okay.
I have Udaline A. Deravines. Udaline A. Deravines. She is absolutely phenomenal. I'm telling you, she specializes in assisting multi-passionate trailblazers like herself. And what she does, she's a personal brand strategist and an entrepreneur. I think you and I were discussing branding.
Yes.
That's what she does. And so she's going to talk about what it is that she does. And we also have Kelly Sweet, and her name couldn't be more perfect because she is absolutely sweet. Kelly is a life coach. She is an author. She is an amazing poet. But I call her, we all have to have some sort of life coach. We all have to have some sort of mentor. Kelly is my self-confidence life coach. Let me tell you, if you are going to live in your purpose, if you're going to walk in your purpose, if you're going to want to find anything out about your purpose, honey, I'm here to tell you, you have got to have some self-confidence.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Yes.
And Kelly has a way of sharing in a beautiful way with her sweet disposition of empowering women and helping them to connect to and figuring out about their self-confidence. I think that's all of the ladies, all of my purpose friends.
We have to go on break.
Okay.
Got to pay the bills. We will be back.
Are you an artist, a writer of spoken word? Do you have content ready but need exposure? Get to know me. I'm Alicia, host of a new Facebook live stream show called The Flavor, where we promote local and international talent of all genres. Here are some rules and regulations to the videos that we'll be accepting. They must be radio ready, no cursing, no lewd language. You must send us contact information as well as a YouTube link to your video so we can extract it from there. Email us at 1061tv@gmail.com, and we thank you for your time. Are you an artist?
Welcome to Burke's Jewelry. How may I help you?
We're looking for engagement rings.
We offer a wide selection. However, I believe we have just what you're looking for. Burke's Jeweler is your family's jeweler at 491 Flat Shoals Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia 30316 in East Atlanta Village.
Welcome back to Living in Your Purpose, and I am Dr. Pat. We're sitting discussing a podcast that my guest today is having on Saturday. So go ahead and finish talking to us about this.
Sure. Okay. So the Purpose Experience, you will have the opportunity to see what purpose looks like via my Purpose Friends. Like I said, they all have something that they're bringing to the table. And I told them, it's funny because we had a meeting last night, and I said, you know, ladies, I know I didn't give a whole bunch of instructions, you know, as to what it is that I want you to talk about, because I want you to be totally just be you, because I need people to see, because you never know who it is you may impact or who it is that's looking to do exactly what it is that you're doing.
Absolutely.
And I think about Udalene, and I had to tell her, I said, you know, Udi, once we get this event out of the way, I'm going to have to book a session with you, because I think building your brand is absolutely, it is very important. And just little nuggets that she's given, because she has a YouTube channel that I absolutely love, and I'm always just getting good information. And so I want people to experience this. And it is going to be on Saturday the 20th from 1 until 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I wanted to make sure that everybody has some time, you know, have some of their Saturday back, but it is well worth the wait. It's well worth attending and investing in yourself. It's a free event. It's free. Like free.
Oh, wow. You can't even ask for more.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then once they register, then they'll get an email with the Zoom link, because it'll be the actual platform will be via Zoom. But it's going to be fun. There's going to be music, because like I said, I love music.
Okay.
And so we're going to have some music. We're going to have some giveaways. We're going to have some phenomenal women talking and showing you what purpose looks like.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So please tell us how we can get from the pole to the pulpit.
First, you got to realize what your pole is. Are you stuck at that dead-end job? That job that you are going to every single day and you cannot stand? Are you stuck in a relationship that's going absolutely nowhere? Are you stuck in lack-minded thinking, and you're always claiming and speaking this stuff out of your mouth and just continuously manifesting, I'm so broke, I don't have enough? You're just stuck. First thing you need to do is to realize what your pole is, because if you don't acknowledge it, you can't fix it. The next thing you need to do is determine that I want something different. Not only do you want something different, but there's something that you are specifically designed to do. There's something that you are specifically supposed to have.
Yes.
And you just ask God for it. God, what is it? What is it?
you have to do.
Sometimes it's things that you were doing without an effort and you would probably do for free. Or, you know, if you think about, if I could just live my life, this is how I would want it. It's available to you, and the reason why you can't necessarily shake it is because that's what you were supposed. That's where you're supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to be doing. I always say that we settle for mess instead of God's best.
Come on now.
So when we decide that we want different, and we ask God for it, He's going to download that purpose, and it's up to you to receive it. Just like any other gift, somebody gives you something, and then you just simply say, when somebody gives you something, what do you say, Dr. Pat?
Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you. So you go from the pole to the pulpit. You realize it. You decide that you want something different, and then you go for it. You seek, you discover, and then you pursue your purpose. And that's how you go from the pole to the pulpit.
Oh, yes. So I guess the answer right now is people have to find out what's their pole.
Yeah. Find out what's your pole. We all have one.
That is an incredible allegory. I like that.
Thank you.
Discover what your pole is in order to live in your purpose.
Yeah, yeah. You got to acknowledge it.
I get it.
Yep.
I get it. Metaphors, similes, symbolically, yes.
Yes.
Wow. Wow, that is incredible. Oh, well, guys, we're nearing in time, but I just wanted to just thank all my viewers, thank all my guests. You guys are incredible. Next week, I have a very special show. I'm going to bring on my memorable guests, my remarkable guests. If you can come back, please come back. If not, we're going to try to figure out some type of way to include you in. But I'm also going to have Miss Charmaine Bradbury, the authoress of Honey Wash Your Face, and Miss Mercury Rising, the author of Men in My Bed. We're going to have a discussion. I mean, you know their story, you know their book. So now we're just going to tie it in, and we're going to have conscious conversations. And we're going to talk about purpose and living and how good it is to live in purpose and to know what your purpose is.
Wow.
I thank you. I thank you. You came all the way from Carolina.
Yeah, I
You
did.
wasn't local, and thank you for being a blessing.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Oh,
I love
you
the
are more
opportunity to
than
talk purpose.
welcome.
Thank you.
I do. I've always wanted to do this, to have a platform to be able to help women, powerful women and men that have a story.
Right.
They didn't just linger and lie in what they were going through, but they picked up that pen.
Mm-hmm.
And they wrote it. Habakkuk says, write the vision and make it plain.
That's right.
So for you to be able to put your vision and everything that you've been through on paper and tell the story and don't care who's judging.
No.
How anybody feel about it. And that's where I think I am. And thank God I've been talking to you, and I've been talking to Charmaine, and I've been talking to Mercury Rising, because how can you tell it all? I think I worry about, okay, who's going to judge me? But they're not the judge, and it's not for them.
No.
If someone's going to take your book or purchase your book just for the purpose of judging you, that's
Right.
crazy.
Right.
That's really crazy.
And your
But-
testimony isn't for you anyway.
No, it's for
It's
someone else.
For other people. That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
So at least I know I have someone that can edit it, make
Yes.
sure my grammar and everything is how it's
I'll hook
supposed
you
to
up.
be. And then Mercury has been such a blessing. She's going to help me with the publisher.
Ah,
So
awesome.
God is good. He's bringing it all about. So many awesome things has happened in my life. And I've been through some stuff, and I thank God I'm not where I was.
Yes.
My praise is personal. People don't even understand how much I love the Lord.
Yeah.
And for everything I've been through. And I'm definitely living in my purpose.
That's awesome.
And
That's awesome.
and all the women that I'm meeting, it's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. He knows
It's
what he's
beautiful.
doing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
You have to meet the melanated pearl, Miss Crystal Perry.
Mm.
She is a beautiful sister, incredible. She's doing positive things. Just for her to sit and just tell you about melanated pearl
Okay.
and what it means. The sister is incredible. I think I need to reach out for her and have her back on as well.
Yes, please do, because I now I'm curious to know who she is.
Yes, and if you go on YouTube to TV 1061, you can actually go back and find her. She was
Okay.
in May, but her name is Crystal Perry, and it's with the Melanated Pearl. They're a 501c3 organization
Okay.
doing some positive works,
Okay.
major positive works, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
So, where can we purchase From the Pole to the Pulpit?
Of course, you can always get it on Amazon.com. I have both the Kindle edition, and if you have unlimited Kindle, that would be perfect. Go ahead and download it, but you can purchase it on Amazon. You can also get it off of my website. That's JuvaThreetAlexander.com, and Threet is spelled just like threat, JuvaThreetAlexander.com.
I thank you. I thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a blessing. Any words of encouragement you want to end on?
I do. You were created on purpose, for purpose. So I encourage you to seek, to discover, and to pursue it with all of your heart. Because I promise you, when you are doing that thing that you were meant to do, you will see a total difference in your life. Bless you. Thank you.
Bless you. Bless you, bless you. Thank you, guys, and I will see you next week. I am Dr.
TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.